Hey, welcome back to the channel, my people. If you're new here, welcome, take a seat, get comfortable, because today we are talking about homecoming. Yes, the homecoming, the Mzansi Wethu telenovela that has had me absolutely glued to my screen every single weekday at 18:30. If you don't know the show, quick rundown: it's set in Bergville, KwaZulu-Natal. It started with Zethu coming back home after her big medical career fell apart, and now we're deep into season 2, and honey, this season has turned into a full-blown thriller. I did not sign up for organ harvesting storylines when I started watching this show, but here we are, and I am not complaining. So today we're recapping episode 39, titled The Hunt. And that title alone had me nervous before I even pressed play. Let's set the scene for anyone just joining us, because you need this context or none of today is going to hit the same. Quick catch up: Shobane and Shwabi have formed this dark little alliance. Shobane basically sold his soul, stepped fully into villain mode, all tied up with this organ harvesting operation that's been terrorizing Bergville. Zethu, being Zethu, our girl cannot leave well enough alone. She starts digging into who's behind it despite literally everyone, her family, the police, common sense, telling her to back off. And of course, because this is a soapy and we love a reckless heroine, she goes and finds out exactly who's behind it, and gets herself captured for her trouble. Held captive by Shobane, the man she once loved. I mean, the audacity of this show to do that to us. And then yesterday, in episode 38, The Harvest, things got even worse. Zethu, still held captive, was forced into making some kind of terrible decision just to keep herself alive. We don't even fully know what that decision was yet, we just know it broke something in her. Meanwhile, on the outside, Norage, who's investigating all of this, brings Moankobo in to help him find his sister, which honestly could complicate his whole investigation because now his personal stuff and his professional stuff are tangled together. Messy. I love it. Okay. That's where we left off. Now let's get into today. Episode 39. The Hunt. Let's go scene by scene. Scene 1, the search begins. We open, and this is such a good opening. They really know how to hook you in the first 60 seconds, on Shwabi's men. A whole group of them, fanning out across the outskirts of Bergville. Torches, backies, the whole search party energy. And Shwabi is standing there directing them like he's running a military operation, barking out where to look, who to talk to, who not to let slip anything. And you can immediately feel it. This man is not searching for Zethu because he's worried about her well-being, okay? He is searching for her because she is a loose end. A loose end that knows too much about the organ harvesting operation. And loose ends, in a show like this, they don't tend to survive very long. I actually paused here for a second, because I was like, wait, if his men are searching for her, does that mean she escaped Shobane? Which, if true, go Zethu. Queen behavior. But also, girl, where are you hiding? Because Shwabi's whole crew is now combing the area and that is terrifying. Scene 2, Moankobo and Norage. Cut to Norage, and he is a man on a mission today. He's pacing, he's stressed, and Moankobo is trying to help him piece together clues about his missing sister. Now here's where it gets interesting. As they're going through information, there are these little hints being dropped that whatever happened to Ndaraj's sister might not be totally separate from what's happening to Zethu. Is Shwabi's operation bigger than we even thought? Is this organ harvesting ring connected to more disappearances in Bergville than just the ones we've already seen? Can we just talk about Moankobo for a second? Because I have to say, I was not expecting her to become this important to the investigation storyline. For a while she felt like a side character just floating around family drama, and now she's out here helping track down missing people. Character development. I respect it. But also, and this is just me being suspicious, because that's what recap channels are for, I don't fully trust that Maung Kobo's help is coming from a completely innocent place. This show has trained me to expect a twist behind every kind gesture. So I'm filing that away for later. Scene 3, Zethu, wherever she is. Okay, this next scene. This is the scene that had me sitting up straight. We cut to Zethu, and she is clearly on the run, hiding, trying to catch her breath somewhere in the bush outside the village. Dirty, exhausted, terrified, but alive. And you can see it on her face, she's replaying whatever that terrible decision was from yesterday's episode. Whatever she had to do to survive, it's eating at her. She's not just running from Schwabi's men physically, she's running from herself a little bit too. And honestly, this is why I love 6ix9ine in this role. The physicality of it, the way she plays fear without ever making Zethu look weak, she's scared, but she's still thinking, still strategizing, still trying to find a way out. That's what makes her such a good lead character. She's not just a damsel in distress, she's actively working the problem even while she's hiding for her life. There's this quiet, tense little moment where she hears voices nearby, Schwabi's men, getting closer, and she has to decide in like 2 seconds whether to stay hidden or move. My heart was pounding, you guys. I was literally holding my breath. Scene 4, Showbane's guilt. Meanwhile, because of course the show is not going to let Showbane off easy, we get a scene of him alone, and he's clearly spiraling. This is the man who held Zethu captive, the man she once loved, and now that she's out there running for her life because of choices he made, you can see the guilt just eating him alive. He gets a call, we don't fully hear who it's from, but from his reaction, it's someone checking in on whether Zethu has been handled. And when he hangs up, his hands are shaking. Okay, real talk, I am so torn on Showbane right now. On one hand, sir, you literally held a woman captive, you don't get sympathy from me that easily. On the other hand, the show is clearly setting up some kind of redemption arc, because why else would they keep showing us these little cracks in his villain armor? Is he going to flip and help Zethu before this episode is out? I genuinely don't know, and that uncertainty is exactly what keeps me watching. Scene 5, The Message. Now here we go, this is the moment the episode title is really about. Norage, still working with Maung Kobo, gets a message. We don't see the full content on screen, just his face as he reads it, and the color literally drains out of him. Whatever this message says, it changes everything. It shifts his suspicion onto someone new, and based on how the scene is shot, based on where he immediately runs to afterward, I am almost certain this message somehow connects Showbane, or maybe even someone even closer to Zethu's own family, to what's really going on. Can we just talk about how good this show is at withholding information? They love to show you a phone screen from an angle where you can't read it, or cut away right before the big reveal. It's frustrating in the best way. I was yelling at my TV, show me the message. Scene 6, The Confrontation. And then, the moment the whole episode has been building to. Norage, now armed with whatever this message told him, tracks down the person he now suspects. And it turns into a full confrontation. Raised voices, accusations flying, someone grabbing someone's arm, someone else pulling a weapon. I'm being intentionally vague here because I genuinely don't want to give away exactly how brutal this gets, but I will say, by the time the scene cuts to black, at least one person is in serious danger. The show ends the episode right there. Right in the middle of it. No resolution. Nothing. I actually gasped out loud. Alone. In my living room. That's how good this cliffhanger was. My thoughts on this episode. Okay, so let's talk about it, because this episode did so much work in like 20-something minutes. First of all, the pacing today was incredible. Every single scene moved the plot forward, there was no filler, no wasted time. That's something I really appreciate about this show lately, especially compared to some of the slower stretches earlier in the season that some of you have been complaining about in the comments. And fair, some of you said the show lost its way after they wrote off a certain character early on, and I hear you, but I genuinely think this organ harvesting arc has brought the energy back. Second, Zethu on the run, still thinking, still fighting, that's exactly the kind of heroine energy I want from this show. I'm rooting for her so hard right now. Third, Chaubain's guilt scene has me convinced we are heading towards some kind of turn for his character. Whether that's redemption or a total unraveling, I don't know, but something's coming. And fourth, that ending. That confrontation. Who is Naraj confronting? Is it Chaubain? Is it someone we haven't even suspected yet? I have theories, and I want to hear yours in the comments, because this is exactly the kind of episode that's going to have X, absolutely on fire tonight. Predictions for the next episode. Alright, let's speculate, because that's the fun part. Based on where we're sitting right now, here's what I think happens next. 1. I think Zethu makes it out of hiding, but not without another close call. This show loves to almost catch her before pulling back. 2. I think that confrontation we just saw is not going to end in a death. I think the show pulls back at the last second, because we're still mid-arc with too many loose threads to close out a major character this soon. But I do think someone gets seriously hurt, and it might be enough to expose the organ harvesting operation publicly for the first time. 3. Chaubain. I think we're about to see him make a choice. Either he warns Zethu, or he doubles down and helps Chaubain finish what they started. My gut says he flips. Partial redemption. Don't come for me if I'm wrong. And 4. Nomalanga and Vusi's storylines have been sitting quietly in the background this episode, and you know this show never lets two storylines sit dormant for too long, so I expect their drama to come roaring back very soon, probably right when we least expect it. Wrapping up. Okay, that is episode 39, The Hunt, fully broken down for you. What a ride. Genuinely one of the more intense episodes we've had this season, and if today was this good, I am terrified, in the best way, for what's coming tomorrow. If you enjoyed this recap, you already know what to do, smash that like button, it really helps the channel out more than you'd think. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I recap every single episode, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next on this show. And down in the comments, I want to know, who do you think Naraj was confronting? Do you think Chaubain flips sides? And be honest, are you team Zethu escapes clean, or are you bracing for more heartbreak? Drop it all below, I read every single comment. Alright, that's it for today's recap, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 40, stay safe, stay hydrated, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye. That's the full script, sitting right around the 3,000 word mark. Want me to also draft a shorter YouTube description title options for this recap, or write out episode 40's recap once tomorrow's teaser drops?